Hey everyone, and welcome back to XGENIA tutorial. Today we're jumping into lesson 7, states and logic components. This lesson is crucial. It's where we move beyond static UI and start injecting some real, reusable logic and interactivity into our components. We need to navigate to the correct path in the page router first. The task guide tells us to select the task page path, which is the page currently being previewed. Now, let's go into our card item component in the Components panel. Inside the card item graph, we have the various elements, including the date text element, which needs our formatted date. Search for date to string. Click to place it down. We grab the output wire from the object node's date property and connect it to the date to string node's date input port. Next, we connect the output of the date to string node, which is, well, the date string, to the text input port of our date text UI element. This handles our date formatting, keeping the display clean and localized if needed. In the Components panel, click the plus sign next to Components and select Logic Component. Name it Card Category Styler and hit Add. A logic component needs clear interfaces. We'll add a new input port and name it Category. On the Component Outputs node, we need 2 ports to control the card's appearance, one for the background color and one for a category image. These will be the configurable properties we export. Search and add the states node to the graph. We need to define our states. Under the States section, add the following entries: work, study, shopping, and appointment. These names must match the category values we expect to receive. Next, we need to define the data structure that each state will output. Let's add background color and image to match our component outputs. Crucially, we need to set the data types for these values. For background color, let's change the type from number to color. For image, change the type to string. Now we assign the actual style data to each state. Scroll down to the work state. For background color, let's select the work color from the palette, a predefined color. For image, we'll input the image file name, work, PNG. Let's do the same for the others. We use the states node with categories like work, study, shopping, and appointment to establish a direct, declarative mapping between the application's data state and its visual presentation. We need to style it because it significantly improves user experience by making the app more intuitive, scannable, and visually engaging. By defining work, study, shopping, and appointment as states inside the logic component, we ensure that the specific background color associated with certain state is defined in one place only. Moreover, any component that needs to style a card only has to call the card category styler component. Uncheck the Use Transitions checkbox. This simplifies our node's logic. Finally, we connect the logic. Connect the category output of component inputs node to the state input of states node. And then connect the background color output of states node to the background color input of the component outputs node. Next, connect the image output of states node to the image input of component outputs node. Now let's integrate this card category styler into our card item component. Drag the card category styler from the component pane to the canvas. It automatically helps you apply it within the component graph. Connect the category output of object nodes to the category input of card category styler. Connect the image output of card category styler node to the source input of image node. And then, connect the background color output of card category styler node to the background color input of card group node. This sets the background color of the whole card item. Now let's do the same for the details page. Drag the card category styler from the component pane to the canvas. Connect the category output of object node to the category input of card category styler node. Connect the image output of card category styler node to the source input of image node. This sets the card icon dynamically. And then, connect the background color output to card category styler node to the background color input of hero group node. Tidy it up a little bit, and just like we did on the card item, we need to format the date string on the details page. Search for and add another date to string node. Connect the date output of object node to the date input of date to string node. Finally, connect the date to string output on its node to text input of the date node. Now that our logic is in place, we can test it out. But let's edit the UI a little bit first. On the Create Card page, let's edit the Create Task button font. Click it, then scroll to Text Style on the Label section. Change the font color to white to make it readable. After that, go to Drop-down node. Look for Label and enable it. Let's enter a new task on the preview pane on the right side, XGENIA project with the category work and a date. Then, let's hit the Create Task button. Clicking on it, the details page also correctly displays the matching color and icon, and the date is correctly formatted. Great job! Thanks for watching. Get XGENIA for free today at xgenia.ai and start building smarter and faster than ever.